In a case where jurisdiction is at issue, the doctrine of forum non-conveniens assists to establish the most suitable forum to achieve the ends of justice. The doctrine has its origins in the English case of Spigliata Maritime Corp and Cansulex Limited. This video will discuss the definition behind the Latin word conveniens. It will address the tests of the doctrine and the burden of proof on the parties, and will note the Australian position. When analysing the Latin word conveniens, we must be careful not to be misled into thinking that the matter at issue is one of mere practical convenience. Lord Dunedin, in the Spigliata Maritime Corp case, clarified the English translation of the word to mean appropriate. Therefore, the jurisdictional issue addressed by the doctrine is the appropriate forum. In order to justify a stay of proceedings, the doctrine proposes two tests. Firstly, the defendant must satisfy the court that there is another forum to whose jurisdiction he is amenable, in which justice can be done between the parties at substantially less inconvenience or expense. And two, the stay of proceedings must not deprive the plaintiff of a legitimate personal or jurisdictional advantage which would be available to him or her if they were to invoke their local jurisdiction. The burden of proof is on the defendant to satisfy the court that it is clearly an inappropriate forum for the determination of the dispute, and a continuance would be both oppressive and vexatious. Note, the specific question is whether the local forum is clearly inappropriate, and not that a more appropriate foreign forum exists. Where the court is satisfied that the forum is clearly inappropriate, the burden shifts to the plaintiff to show any special circumstances as to why the matter should be heard in this country. A successful argument would include relevant connecting factors and a legitimate personal jurisdictional advantage. So when will an Australian court refuse to hear a matter? It's where a trial of the proceedings is classified as a clearly inappropriate forum. A circumstance of this could include forum shopping, where a party is trying to take advantage of favourable local laws. An application of the doctrine of forum non-conveniens to the internet was made in the 2002 defamation case of Dow Jones and Company Incorporated and Gutnick, where the doctrine was used to determine Victoria was the appropriate forum for a defamation case involving online and print media produced in the United States, which defamed a resident of Victoria. The key connecting factor was that damage to Mr. Gutnick's reputation had occurred in Victoria, and as such, the forum of Victoria was not a clearly inappropriate forum.